There's a reason why 96% of startups fail, and I'm going to show you how to become part of that 4% and what it really takes. For the last 3 years, I've been building a rehab wearable company called Lectra, where I've been traveling the country, pitching, raising money, and doing everything I can to make this company a reality. I've been pitching at different schools, investors, and I even got startup funding from a billionaire. But there's one main thing that all these gurus online don't tell you. This shit is hard. Is that a doorbell? Hello? No one cares about you. Talk about how you're helping them build their companies. Lecturetape.com is a sweet website though. I like it. Okay, let's get back to work. We're going to Tampa right now to raise more money, meeting with VCs, founders of billion-dollar companies, and different sensor companies to help us develop the tech. We're also prepping for the Holt Prize, which is a $1 million competition that's run by the Clinton Foundation. We're in the World Semifinals in Boston, and we're part of the last 700 startups out of 700,000 across the world. Now, why does any of this matter to you? Because in my past videos and throughout this video, I talk about the systematic process for building a company. And there's tons of people who create multi-million-dollar companies, and I've studied hundreds of them. And there's a breakdown of the step-by-step process they use to become successful. Whether that's taking an idea to a prototype, getting your mindset right, building a team, being able to scale the product, scale the service, and a ton more. No one will listen to you. People think you're crazy, and it gets ridiculously lonely at times. Most times, actually. But this is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my entire life, and will continue to do so, and I'm excited to bring you along for the ride. We officially touched down in Tampa, so we're here for a bunch of different stuff. We have 15 or 16 meetings scheduled for the next 3 days. You guys have seen the videos about the sensors we're trying to develop and how we're going to integrate them into the tape. And these guys know how to do it. They wanted to meet with us. They were super excited. We've been talking about meeting with these guys for like almost 2 years now. So this is huge and I'm super excited. They're called Brady. Pretty much what happened is we walked in and I pitched these individuals who have built some of the coolest tech in the entire world and worked with a bunch of Fortune 50 companies that all of you have heard of. And they've built different technology for almost all of them. They loved our pitch and we came to a deal after about an hour and a half conversation that the technology advancements would cost around anywhere between $60,000 to $200,000. Now we have to raise that money, so keep track in your head of the math. Now we're meeting with Ross Camp, who's creating medicines to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
I'm just looking at the schedule.
So the next thing is meeting Steven at 5. Right.
Again, I could only show the outside because it was a bunch of top secret labs, and needless to say, there was a ton of mice, ton of people in white coats, and it was a very cool experience. I wish I could talk to you more about it, but they had that place locked up tighter than Area 51.
We did research with NASA, and now we're just eating in downtown Sarasota. We have like another meeting for dinner where we're meeting with my mentor for the program for the Tampa Incubator. What do you think of the day so far?
I think that the day has been super fun.
You sound like a robot. I think the day is fun.
I think that we had a lot of fun today, and there's some really great weather.
And this is Erin. She's in charge of helping me stay on track, along with keeping track of our now 14 team members.
I like the Transformer thing, and I don't know if I was allowed to talk about it.
Any product that's available.
This is Joy. She's my mentor in Florida. My first competition I went to was a global CEO conference in Tampa, and she was the keynote speaker, which means she pretty much ran everything. This is where I like to say persistence closes the distance, because I liked the speech that Joy gave. Her presentation was awesome, and I knew I wanted her to be a mentor on my team. I asked her a question at the conference, and I kept following up, no responses, and over 5 months of me responding on email, she finally responded back and said, let's have a meeting. She told me out of the 750 kids that had asked her questions at the conference or reached out for her contact information, I was one of 2 that followed up with her. So that's a pivotal step for not only building a company, but being able to strive and scale and be able to maybe eventually sell it if that's what you're looking to do. Persistence closes the distance. Joy and I became good friends, and 5 months later, I was invited to join the Spartan Incubator program at the University of Tampa. She's the one who made this all possible. Oh, and she's raised over $1 billion and exited 17 companies. She's a beast.
Well, you can talk about it. You can talk about those skateboards.
Yeah,
That's out on their website. So anything that's,
Yeah, I'm not trying to get hunted by Rob Brady. When we went to Rob Brady, there was like, they had this like exoskeleton thing. One was like an exoskeleton, almost like a transformer. What was your favorite thing from Rob Brady?
I think my favorite thing at Roe Brady was the electric motorcycle.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I liked the scooter. What about you, Joy?
Oh, the superbike is definitely my thing.
No, but Florida definitely just has like a different vibe than anywhere I've been in Pennsylvania. It's like wild. Coming down here, it just feels like better. Everybody's nicer.
All right, day 2. Yesterday was a bunch of hardware conversations. Today is a bunch of software conversations. Tampa has this like super old building on campus. Joy is bringing in a bunch of people from all over. I think today's a record. We have 6 or 7. What? Joy was teaching us about the different ways to work through specific problems and how to deal with adversity. For example, one of the other individuals was doing $55,000 a month in revenue, but was having trouble getting to a larger target audience. So we as a team, by the way, all the people in this room have successful businesses and are part of the Tampa Incubator program. I was the only one still in college at the time. All worked through a storyboard to help them solve this problem. This is all about building teams and a network. That lays the groundwork to building a successful company. And remember, you can't control adversity, but you can control your response to it. This is me meeting with a founder who does over $100 million in revenue a year, who I met through a random friend I met at a bar. Networking is everything. I'm prepping our script for Holt Prize. We have a couple more days in Tampa, and then we are driving directly from Tampa up to Pennsylvania. I'm moving out of school on the 31st of May, and then we're driving right up to Tampa or Boston, which is in like 2 hours for the Holt Prize. Now, when you're selling a product or service, you have to figure out who you're selling to, and that's called your target market. And our first target market is going to be the pickleball community. Not just because they've already gone from 4 million to 50 million players in 1 year, but pickleball is going to contribute to over $500 million worth of medical bills in 2023 alone. And I'm also trying to go pro. Here's some quick B-roll of us playing down in Tampa. This is the hard truth, that not everything in entrepreneurship is sunshine and rainbows. There's tons of people who say that you can do this and that just so you'll click on their video. This trip cost me $2,500 in total, and we got no funding, but we made a ton of new connections, which is more important than that $2,500 in the long run. We also realized that we need to raise $500,000 more in funding. Comment the total amount of funding below that we need. Now, a recap of how it's going to benefit everybody watching the video. So part of this process includes step 1, having an idea. And step 2 is taking the idea to the product or service, which is more than 50% of people already even do. And step 3 is building the team. You need a rock solid team to make the company a reality, and there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but I can make a video about how I recruited my entire team if you're interested. Comment down below. Step 4 is networking. They always say that your network is your net worth, and that couldn't be more true. That just means be nice to every person because you don't know how they'll be able to help you in the future. Step 5 is receiving funding, and this is the process that we're at right now because we're running into a problem where we don't have our MVP, our minimum viable product, pretty much being able to show investors that it actually works to be able to get funding. Funding is definitely the hardest step I've run into, but I'm definitely not giving up on that because most people let their fear of failure outweigh their desire to succeed. The only thing I'm scared of is not going high enough. And step 6 is partnerships and scaling, and we have partners from all across the country, and I can actually make a video about how we did that as well. And scaling, we haven't hit that yet. Over time, we've just been building up a newsletter of individuals who are interested in the product, and that's been working great. Comment down below any questions you have or DM me on any platform. I'm active on all.
Telling people how to build a business. We need more people working 9 to 5.
I gotta go.